All right, welcome back. We continue right here, and we'll have a lot of calls coming your way on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call, powered by FanDuel Sportsbook. And we'll begin by going out to Tim in South Park, who joins us here on the hotline. What's up, Tim?
Hey, Bob. If you remember last week I called you, I thought the Steelers would get slaughtered today. I'm going to eat crow. And
how do you want it served up, Tim? Would you like a medium? Well done. What do you want? I appreciate you calling back. I mean, everyone has an opinion on all this stuff, and you never know what you're going to get.
I mean, like, why would you ever think they'd be slaughtered by Arizona? I mean, lose maybe because they have a tendency to do this in this kind of situation under Tomlin over the years. Lose maybe, but slaughtered against a 3-8-1 team with a crummy defense?
Okay, Tim.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I appreciate you calling back and owning up to it, though. That's good. David in Strattonville joins us on the hotline right now. What's up, David?
Hey, I just wanted to call and tell you that I think Mr. Hodges did a wonderful job today, and I think if Mike Tomlin would give him a chance, I think he's going to turn into another Ben Roethlisberger.
I think you might have had too much today on your plate there. But that's expecting a lot. Listen, the guy has been outstanding, and I love what he's shown. I think more than anything else, thanks for the call, Dave. Tim, he's shown whenever he's in a situation, he doesn't get flustered by it. He is capable of executing whatever they want him to execute. I mean, every time he's come in, he's made something happen, whether it's off the bench, whether it's as a starter, in relief, needing a spark in Cincinnati. My hat's off to him, because I didn't think many people thought he'd get this opportunity and run with it as he has.
Tell you what, if he turns into another Ben Roethlisberger, that's close enough for me, because that sounds like close enough to Ben Roethlisberger. So if he wants to become a Rosenberger, that's fine.
Well, the fact is, a lot of people still don't like his skill set, and a lot of people have told me that. But listen, he may not have the strongest arm, but he's pretty accurate. And again, the throw to Deontay Johnson today was as accurate as can be. He drew a couple of one PI that I know, maybe
James
two.
Washington.
But again, you put it right where you have to put it. The defender has to make a play, and sometimes he has to do something he doesn't want to do, and he gets caught. So, and I thought, Gareth White, every time I see him get in there, he does something. He should carry the ball more.
There were a couple times today where I thought Hodges kind of did what Mason Rudolph did after his first. I'm actually going to show you I'm not going to check down all the time or throw it short all the time. Remember that great crossing route that they had last week to Deontay Johnson, a brilliantly designed play by Randy Fichtner on a third down that sprung Johnson for a clutch first down against the Browns a week ago. They, in essence, ran the same play for James Washington this time, and he was open. And Duck had him. Like, Washington ran the route so far out, he had to stop the route in front of Duck eventually, and he decided to not go to him. And he tried to get something more out of it. And I just think that's good in the sense that he's gaining confidence, yes, but when that kind of play is there, just take it and get the run after catch yards.
After the game, we had a lot of calls and tweets about Jordan Berry. Now, they won the game, so it'll kind of fade away. However, that call was just
atrocious.
Atrocious.
On
and
a lot
the fact
of levels.
is, Mike Tomlin said it was his call. He owned up to it, took responsibility. However, we heard from players afterwards who basically said there was miscommunication and it may have been called off. As Chris Hoke explained on the show after the game, sometimes you don't have direct communication like you do with a quarterback. And so, therefore, those players have to recognize something that's going on there. And if they don't, you can end up with a miscommunication.
Right. And
but it shouldn't have been called to begin with. That's
just
momentum is momentum all on your side. They have nothing. You're going to give them that?
There's got to be a kill before everybody gets on the field, and there should have been a kill on this play before everybody got in the field. Now, what Barry has told me in the past when I've interviewed him is, like, when it comes to fake punt situations, that a lot of times, if you're between X yard line and X yard line, be it the 30 and the 30 or the 40 and the 40, whatever it is, it's always on. You always have the green light to do it if you get a certain look. But somebody has to tell him in that situation in the fourth quarter up 10, there's a red light. There is no green light on this one.
That's true.
So if he walks up there thinking it's there, I can do it, he should have the savvy to know not to do it in that situation regardless, even if it is there.
Right.
But he didn't. And somebody has to tell him before he goes out there. That's part of the coaching element. Whether it's Tomlin, whether it's Smith, somebody has to tell him before he goes out there, you don't have the option, even though you normally do right now because of scoring.
Listen, I don't think it was on anyone's mind. I never, ever thought at that point, if you had asked me after the play, I would have said, and which I did, I said, how in the world up 10 with the defense playing as well as its play, would you even give them that opportunity? And if you remember, they took full advantage and got a touchdown. Let's go out to David in Blanox. What's up, David? How are you?
Hey, guys. Just wanted to say a couple things. not to beat a dead horse, but, he looked totally clueless when he got that ball, that he didn't know what to do with it. Number two, I disagree with Hokie that when a player's helmet comes off, it is, really, you got to be hitting around the neck or the head for a helmet to come off.
Yeah, but to get everybody caught up on that, Hokie said there was it was a good play, shouldn't have been flagged. I thought it should have been flagged.
10 years ago, it was a great play and shouldn't have been
Right,
flagged.
today it's a different game.
If you're going to tell me that first one, I found the second one to be more egregious
And
than
the flag
first
came
one.
on the first one.
Right.
Right, and it was reversed. It should have been anyway. Yeah, but I agree with you. Hokie's not here to defend himself, but I'll tell him you called, David. Thank you. Let's go to Al in Bethel Park, who joins us right now on the hotline. What's up, Al?
Hey, guys. How y'all doing?
We're good.
No Connor, no Juju, no Ben. Bell left, AB left, and Tomlin has clinched another non-losing season, which means he has never had another losing season. Funny how I don't hear those fire Tomlin chants anymore, those idiots who want Tomlin fired for non-football reasons. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. No, we haven't had one call like that, and the reasons are obvious. I think he's been coaching as well as to me, this is his best job, given what he's had to deal with and given how they brought in. It's not just him, too. It's Kevin Colbert bringing in guys who, I remember when Terrell Pryor everyone wanted him. Mike Tomlin told me as we taped the show over there, he said, we have guys in this league who are really athletic and really could play, and they're available to us, so we go after them.
Kind of becoming the NFL version of Bobby Cox, isn't he?
Yeah.
Or maybe he didn't do as much as he could have with the most talent, but when the talent has dissipated or when he's had some of his worst situations, he's done his best work.
That's a good analogy.
I thought the best coaching job that Tomlin has done since he got here was in the same year when he did his worst job, which was the 2015 season when they lost to Ryan Mallett and nearly played themselves out of a playoff position.
Right.
They put themselves in a real corner. I thought the best job that Tomlin did was from that point on, with all the injuries, the craziness against Cincinnati. They almost beat that great Denver Bronco team with Fitzgerald Toussaint as their running back. They were down to backup quarterbacks in there at time and backup wide receivers. And,
AB was out.
AB was out. AB got knocked out. So, I think that was his best coaching job in kind of a similar circumstance. And to that previous caller's point, where they've gotten in holes like 0-4. They've never let a season get completely off the rails, and he is to be credited for that. And there's just this constant yin and yang with, but you're 13-3 and you lost to Jacksonville twice and looked bad in the process. So
everyone's going to do that at the end of a season. That's a hot take, and that's what happens. But overall, I think if you look around the league and ask anyone in an organization, would they like to have this guy and this record? Absolutely, they would. And the Steelers right now have had, I think, 16 straight seasons in which they've not.
2003 was the last one.
That's the longest current streak in the NFL. We'll take a break. 412-575-2600. That's the number. Call us on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call, powered by FanDuel Sportsbook. We're coming back after this.